All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Mindset U. I'm Jason Moreno here. We got Moses, aka King Mo, aka Moody Mo, aka my baby daddy. Um, Today's episode is all about gratitude, mostly because it was my birthday yesterday. I'm 36, and I'm feeling thankful. So I figured, what's a better way when the teacher's not around than to have a little fun and make this one short and sweet?
What'd you do for your birthday?
Nothing. It was kind of sweet. I didn't do a goddamn thing. We went to my parents or picked up some food from Hiram's, stopped by my parents' house. We played some cards, hung out for a little bit, and then came home and napped. And then I picked up my little cousin and we went to eat some pizza. And then I was home and in bed by 10:30. It was a sweet birthday and it was perfect, to be honest with you. When I say nothing, it was like, oh, I didn't do anything. It was just like a perfect, relaxed, rainy day on a Sunday to bring into my 36th birthday. So it was sweet.
Nice. You know
Yeah.
what's interesting? Like birthdays when we were younger compared to birthdays.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
I still
There's
don't
always
get
some
how
big thing.
I still don't get how people our age still do this like big huge thing for their birthday.
You see, like, so I
It's
get
hard.
it and I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's the same way I feel like with people when they're so like when they post all their feelings on like their social media feeds and stuff like that, where I'm like, we get it. All right. Like you want somebody to tell you it's okay. I know. You know, I think it's just a lot. I think for me, it's just like the planning to
Mm,
like to plan a to plan your own birthday party and then be like, guys, you gotta be here at this time, and then have people complain about, oh, why is it there? Can it be at this time? Like, fuck that. Like,
mm,
good. I'd rather just celebrate it with my wife now.
mm.
Got to see the parents, got to see grandma and stuff like that. So it was chill. I like it short and sweet.
Got it.
We're most likely gonna go. I mean, we're going to Disney on Thursday.
Mm,
So it's like, what's the point of having like some party
mm,
when I'm going away anyway,
mm,
kind of thing, you know? So it's one of those. But I get you. Like, I think with people, yeah, I don't really get it. Like, I understand, they want to celebrate it. Like, they want to celebrate it, and it's okay.
mm.
I think it's a reason to have like your friends around and stuff like that, and you
Yeah.
want people to make a big deal about you and stuff like that. But I think it's also like the same people who want to have like a big wedding kind of
Mm.
thing, where it's like they just want to be the center of attention for a day.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess that makes sense.
so I get it. I think, some people just want that day to feel special. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I
No.
judge you, but I judge everybody, so that doesn't really make a difference,
Yeah, I judge them
you
too.
know?
But I don't see
Yeah.
anything wrong with it either.
No,
You know what's
it's really is. Yeah.
You know what's interesting, man? I didn't think about it this way, but when we have our birthdays, like you just turned 36,
Yeah.
you just completed 36 years.
Yeah.
It's not that you're actually going into 36, it's that you've actually
Yeah.
done 36 years.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
did
actually going
36.
into 37.
Yeah, you know
You're
what I mean? Like,
moving
I
into
just started the
37.
bid to going to 37
You're
kinda
going to
thing, you know?
37. Like you started 37.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, and that's another thing, like, I guess, like, I look at, like, birthdays, like, oh, if I'm gonna have a party, it's, like, to milestone, so it's, like, every 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, when I turn 40, it's like, "Oh, I'll have a party for 40," and then again at, like, 45, and then at
Mm-hmm.
50, you know? But one thing I will say is that I notice, like, the older I get, I tend to get a little bit emotional on my birthday kinda thing. Like, I found myself, like, kinda sad in the shower yesterday morning,
Oh,
and
why?
it wasn't like "Oh, I'm getting older" kinda thing. I think I was just like, I think the older I get, the more I'm just grateful because, like, like some people don't make it to see 36 kind of thing. So it's more like a holy shit, like, wow, another year here kind of thing, you know? Um, and it's just, I think it was more thankful. I think I was a little bit emotional yesterday morning because it was more like, man, I'm super thankful for the people that are around me and stuff like that. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my best friends and stuff like that. I have two brothers who I do a podcast with, and then just my family and stuff. Like we talked the other day, having a village. I think the older I get, the more I don't want to take that for granted, and the more I really find that special and think that we're super lucky that we have that. And it made me really appreciate that yesterday morning kind of thing. Like Ashley came in. She was like, "Are you crying in the shower right now?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. Just give me a second." And I don't know, like it just came out of nowhere.
Mm,
You know,
what
um,
is it? What is it about getting older that you are appreciating?
um, I guess the wisdom and the calmness of this that comes with age, and the fact that for somebody who deals with depression to find some sort of peace with myself kind of thing, it's
Mm,
kind of nice. It was kind of like I think yesterday's cry was kind of like ooh, like, dude, like,
mhm,
it's not as bad as you have it in your head sometimes kind of thing. Like, this is a beautiful moment kind of thing. Like,
mhm,
waking up and like all the animals were on the bed with us and stuff like that. Like, I had to wake up next to my wife. It made me it I think it's getting older helps me appreciate being in the present. I think
mm,
that's what it really is. It's not like I'm not looking so far ahead into things and I'm not worried about the past.
mm,
And I think that for me is something super special because that's something I've always struggled with. It's like always thinking like, okay, I have this, but like what else can I get out of this? What else can I do? What else is in the future kind of thing? And to
yeah,
be like, dude, I'm exactly where I need to be at this exact point in time. There's nowhere else I need to be. I'm where this is where I'm supposed to be right now. And it felt like it felt good to feel. It felt a little scary too, because it's like, holy shit. Um, but man, I couldn't have asked for a better 36th birthday, man. It was nice.
what do
You
you
know.
think is what do you think has triggered this kind of like mindset shift in the way that you see life?
A few things. I think it really came down to like we always talk about it, like, when I had that emergency, where I was like, oh shit, like, I kind of put everything off for a few months and it got pretty bad,
Mm,
or it could have gone south,
yeah,
if I waited any longer kind of thing. And then realizing like you got to take care of yourself and like you can't worry about you can't just think like, oh, things are going to sort itself out later. Like you kind of got to start tackling things now.
mm,
And it made me start taking some accountability, and I think that's really the shift that came from me. It was like, all right, dude, you got to be accountable for yourself. Nobody else can be accountable for you. You can't blame it on anybody else. Mom and dad aren't going to be able to fix this. Mo and Rancis, can't fix this. I still have to put in the work, you know.
mm,
And I think once it put like I started drilling into my head that like I have to do the work myself, that's really what like made the shift
got
for
it.
me kind of thing. Um yeah, and it's helped tremendously, to be
Mm,
honest. Like I mean, you've seen it, I feel like a
yes.
lot of the people that I know have seen like a shift in me. Um, I'm still the smart ass and I always am and stuff like that, but
I think I mean I say that's true because after that surgery, definitely there was a shift towards
yeah.
like
And
your
then Ash.
well-being. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Ash. I think boxing was a huge shift in that.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen you other than skateboarding,
Yeah.
but I don't think I've ever seen you do something that you are so disciplined with.
Yeah. Yeah. I finally found something that I could like really, really sink my teeth into. And it hits back. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things like it checks you all the time because like no matter how good you think you are, you always get that reality check kind of thing. And I think that's something that makes me I think that's what really keeps me so disciplined with it
Mm,
you know, just when I think I'm getting like, well, just when I'm like, I'm the shit.
yeah.
Nobody here in this class can touch me. There's somebody who fucking touches me and they touch me real fucking hard. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. I can't come into this on 3 hours of sleep. I can't come into this, hungover. I can't come into this. I can't smoke a joint and then show up at practice kind of thing.
Hmm.
I have to take it real serious. And it's really made me focus for once in my life.
Hmm.
And not just fucking go, just go by it by the seat of my pants, I guess. If
But you
that's
used
even
to do
a
it.
thing.
You used to do it like somewhat. Then I remember you got hurt, and then there was like this shift where you like boxing was the thing? Like, what changed from the first time you were training in boxing to now?
Well, I think the first time when I was doing boxing and stuff like that, I didn't have a gym. You know, I
Mm,
was training with Daquan and stuff like that, and who I still train with every now and then to this day. But it's nice to like have like a gym that I can go to. Before it was just like, oh, okay, we'll meet up, we'll train in his garage, we'll hit pads, spar a little bit, kind of thing. But now it's like I have a home, and the gym has become like a real sanctuary and part therapy for me, where it's like I get to express myself through the art of boxing and being disciplined and doing all these different things. But then it's also there's a big community aspect to it
mm,
where it's like, you have a whole bunch of people who you make friends with through fighting. And and it's been really fun to organize certain things and be like the guy that was like, oh, if you want to get good work and go with Jay, go, do what he does kind of thing. So it's like that's I guess it feeds the ego in a
mm,
sense, but it feeds my ego in a sense of like, no, you got to be disciplined
mm,
because all the guys at the gym are like, no, Jay's disciplined. Like this kid's here all the time. He's willing to spar. He's willing to put in the work and stuff like that. Never complains. So that's really made me be like, okay, no, I gotta be that guy. I gotta be that guy who just puts in the work and just keep, the same shit that my parents taught me to be. It's just I finally get to apply it to something that I truly love,
mm.
kind of thing. I think that's really the shift that it came down to.
That's
Yeah,
interesting, man.
yeah, yeah. It's made a world of difference. Now, if I could just take that discipline when it comes to picking up after myself, it'd be a whole different thing. If you guys, I'm not gonna pan this camera, but this fucking office of mine over here is a fucking mess right now. Mostly because like we're packing for Florida and stuff like that. So like there's shit everywhere.
Yeah.
But like even still, I think having like ADHD, both of us having ADHD and being like, we'll do one task and then go start a task in the other room kind of thing. And then it's just like
Mm.
we have a system now where it's like we'll clean together and we just stay in the same room and we just fucking knock out this room and then go to the next room, because if we just start going separate ways, the other person calls the other person into the other room kind of thing, and then you just start doing 18 different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
How do you think, sorry, man, it's
no,
just like a
no.
question popped up in my
Yeah.
head. So, I've definitely seen a shift after you got married, especially emotionally,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm curious to know, like, how that has shifted your life now that you've been married for a few weeks,
Yeah, almost a month. It's
almost a
gonna be
month. Yeah,
a
yeah,
month in a month on Thursday. It'll be a
yeah.
month on Thursday. Um, I don't know. That's a good question. Because to me, I don't feel like anything's really changed. Because we're just doing the same thing now. We have a title to it, you
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
Um, but there's something like so soothing about knowing that I have somebody who's in this with me, who made this commitment to like be there kind of thing. And thankfully, like, I never had the fear with Ash that like, oh, like, she's gonna run out one day kind of thing,
Mm,
there's I think it's more so on the other hand that I'm like, what the fuck does she see in me? Like, why does
mm,
she love me so much sometimes? And I think that's really the difference. Actually, now that you bring that up, that's really the difference. It went from me being like, oh, I'm not good enough for her. Like she's such a special person kind of thing. Like do I truly deserve somebody who loves me like this? To
mhm,
being like, you know what? I do deserve it because I love her just the same
mm,
kind of thing. And there's something so like fucking like a weight lifted when like with that feeling where it's just like, man, like I just have somebody who loves me just as much as I love them. And even when I feel like I don't deserve it, she's there to always, pick me up and remind me like, no, Jay, like you do deserve love. You're worthy of love and stuff like that. Like your past doesn't define you kind of thing.
mm.
And yeah, I think that's really the real difference now.
So do you feel like that whole village thing that you said you were grateful for, do you feel like that's more true? That rings more true now because you're married?
Um, yeah, yeah, I think so. I think it rings more true just because like the village just got bigger,
Mm,
you know. Now both families are involved, and it also includes our extended families, our close friends and stuff like that. Um, and it'll just keep getting bigger. And it just really it makes me real thankful to see the outpouring of love that we've received,
Mhm.
this past month and stuff like that. You got fed already. Um, like you literally just ate dinner. Um,
Mhm.
I think it's more so that being like, damn, like we are some fortunate motherfuckers, man, to have the amount of people that we do care about us, um, and want the best for us. And I think that's something that's really fucking special, and I hold it near and dear to my heart. Um, yeah, the older I get, the more I appreciate that because time's short. You don't know what'll happen tomorrow, kind of thing. So it's always nice to know that you have your support group and stuff like that with you and
Yeah,
whatnot.
I agree with that. I think
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast. Lex Friedman, he had
Mhm.
a divorce lawyer.
Yeah, Rance just sent me that one. I
Ranson
haven't
said
listened
that
to it
have
yet.
you
Yeah.
got to listen to it. It's actually pretty
Yeah.
good. And what he said is that like love is a very interesting thing. It's like very
Mhm.
complicated because when you make a like it's a conscious choice, and there's some things that you do unconsciously because of love, but like you're signing up to like a life of like pain.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like boxing, right? Like
Yeah.
you're gonna get hit hard, but like there's
Mhm.
something that you choose to continue to do that. So he mentioned like a pet, right? Like a dog or something. And how that's like when you get a dog, like you're signing up like for these amazing moments in the present,
Yeah.
but a shitload of pain at the end, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
yeah, a dog passes away. Like
Yeah.
most likely the dog is gonna pass away before you do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, having a 12-year-old pit, I talk about that with Ash all the time. She's like, "You don't need to talk about this right now." I'm like, "But
It's a
it's
thing.
it's in a, it's gonna happen one day, one way or another, kind of thing." And it's one of those things that it's just like it makes having them so much more special because, like, you know, just as much as like, they're a part of us, they're a part of our family. Like, we're their lives.
Hmm.
You know, and, I think it's something like every day a dog lives, it's like a week or something like that. I forgot
Hmm.
what the actual, like, time frame is. So it's like the fact that they love so unconditionally, like, they
Hmm.
literally love like there's no tomorrow kinda thing.
Yeah.
And, that's something I find so fucking special and so endearing, and it's something that having Indy for 12 years now, it's made it like, whew, like, man, like, I'm so fortunate to have that dog in my life because he was real like the start. He was the start of me being like, oh, okay, this is what love is. Like, I've always had like my parents' love.
Hmm.
I've been in other relationships where I felt love, but I was like, this is unconditional. This is my child, essentially. Like, he needs me to survive, and I need him to survive, kind of thing.
Hmm.
And it's crazy, man. Like, it's gonna be a rough one when he passes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
I
gonna
think
I'm gonna
about that
it's
too.
I'm gonna yeah, and it's one of those things like, "Oh, like, why think about it?" But it's, I already have the song for when he
Yeah.
goes kinda thing, and when I wanna make myself sad in the shower, I'll play it, and I get emotional in the shower
Yeah. Yeah.
kinda
I mean,
thing,
that
you
makes
know?
sense, man. Sounds like
Um,
there's a lot of grateful things in your life.
yeah, yeah, man, it's just one of those things that, like, I feel like in my younger years, I took a lot of shit for granted kinda thing, just, friends, family, just love in general and stuff like that. And the older I get and like, losing relatives and just, losing people in general and stuff like that, you it makes you kind and it sucks like that's when it makes you remember kind of thing. So I'm trying to make like a real conscious effort to not wait until shit hits the fan or till something bad happens
Mm.
to be grateful kind of thing and to really, embrace these moments and stuff like that.
So
And
how do you do that? Like how do you consciously make that effort?
it's just being accepting of people and anytime somebody like wants to it's hard to explain And it's just me putting my guard down and not being the cool guy about it and not being like, "Oh,
Mm,
it's whatever," kind of thing. It's like, for example, like whenever we talk, we usually end it with "love you" kind of thing, you
yeah.
know what I mean? I think that's a good point right there where it's like letting the people that you know who you do love that you do love them
Mm,
kind of thing, you know? I think that's one real easy step that anybody can take, and it's what really helped me, where it's like, if I have friends that I love, like, I tell them I love them all the time, you
mm,
know? Every conversation, it could be like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" And like, "Ah, I'm just like, all right, cool, love you, bye." Like, because you don't know what tomorrow brings kind of thing, and it's just like letting the people that you know that you care about them, that, like, even if it's just like an "I love you" kinda thing, like, it I don't think people realize how much it means subconsciously kinda thing of, like, knowing that somebody does love you kinda thing, and it's not your significant other,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's okay for your boy to love you kinda thing, and
Yeah.
um, I think that really changed it for me. It's kind of thing. It was just like, letting my friends know that I love them, and letting, people that in general just like, I love you, man. Like, I think that was the start for me, where it's just like letting the people I know that I love them before it's too late kind of thing. And I never want to have to think, oh, like I hope he knew. I hope they knew,
Mm,
that kind of thing. Especially like when my uncle passed, when he passed from ALS, and granted, um, it was by his choice kind of thing. Like, it was like, was it euthanasia or something like that?
mm.
Whatever it's called, where, like,
Um,
it's basically where you set up with your doctors, like, no, if it
like
gets
that.
to a certain point, I'm ready to go kind of thing. So like watching him suffer from ALS when he finally found love kind of thing was like,
Mm,
that was like, it's fucking heartbreak, like, just to think about that kind of thing, like, when he finally felt love, and you know, not that it was too late, but it's just like, I wish he had more time to truly embrace it, but I'm glad he did, you know, and it's just one of those things, like, it really made me think about life, because ALS is a fucked up thing, man, to be alive, but to have, like, your body just slowly shut down on you, but your mind's still there.
yeah.
It's such a wild thing.
Yeah, I
Like, what
know.
a wild concept to fucking go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that shit scares me, man.
It's
It's
terrifying, and
such a
it's like,
scary thing, yeah.
and there's not much, like, what can you do about it? There's nothing
Nothing.
you can do about it. And it's either you get it or you don't, or there's
Mm,
some other, or dementia or some other fucking thing
yeah.
that could be out there. So it's like, what I think also another thing, like, I watch a lot of, like, things like on dementia and stuff like that. My aunt Sharon, her mom has dementia and stuff like that. And it's just really interesting to see the things that they remember and stuff like that. So I kind of like drilled it in my head, where it's like, if you let people know today that you love them, even if they can't remember it, they'll still feel that feeling when they see you, kind of thing. They won't
Mm,
understand why, but they'll just know deep down, like, oh, that kid loves that. I feel like that I know that person, kind of
mm.
thing,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And I feel like if you just show the people that are close to you that you do love them, kind of thing, that it no matter what happens, it's a feeling that it just gets ingrained in their DNA, I guess. Not to sound like fucking hippie and like Francis for a second, but I really do think, like, it gets ingrained in their DNA, and they might not remember your name or who you are, but they'll remember that feeling when they see you, kind of thing. And I think there's something that's so fucking special about that. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's pretty insightful, man.
I know. Don't get too used to this, guys.
Usually the one cracking jokes. So
Yeah.
interesting
No.
to hear you
No,
go
no,
deep.
no. Yeah. No, I'm in a good place, man. I'm in a good place, and even when I tell myself that I'm not in a good place, it's just like, you're in a good place, buddy. Stop looking for things to be sad about,
Yeah.
you know. And it's okay to be sad too. Like, that's like, it's weird because it's like that. Be sad, but know that this isn't it's not the
Yeah.
end. It's not the end all be all kind of thing. Embrace those feelings and stuff. but know that there's more to it, you know. And I'm fortunate to have people in my life that make me realize that all the time. Because
Mm.
you know, we talked about it before. I have my own demons and stuff like that, and I have to. I'm getting a little emotional. I have to remind myself, you know,
Yeah.
that people do care, you know.
Hmm.
So it's just part of the thing.
Yeah. Just so you guys can't see, if you guys are listening to this podcast, Jay's tearing up a little bit, which is
A little bit
yeah, which
normal.
is which is which is not a usual thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's I have to
yeah,
be drunk and
yes.
22.
I think the last time I saw you tear up was when we were kids
Yeah.
and you were
Yeah.
going through a breakup.
Oh yeah.
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 Uh,
You know. Yeah. It's just it's really just hey babe. It's really just being happy, man.
that's good, man.
It's just it's a wonderful thing, and I think another thing that's bringing me a lot of happiness lately is I've been hanging out with my little cousin a lot. He's 12.
Hmm.
Um, and he's my mini me. But I think what like brings me like so much happiness to it is like it's passing on like what like my uncle Peter would do with me when I was a kid. He would always take me with him everywhere kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of fun to be able to carry that on with my little cousin Nico. Like even yesterday, we for my birthday, I was like, I'm picking you up, we're gonna go get pizza,
Hmm.
kind of thing. And I just really love being able to spend that time with him because, you know, um, I think we all need that kind of thing. And it's nice, you know, we don't really have any real intentions of having kids. So like we always joke now, like Nico's our kid,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just fun to like to make those memories and kind of like relive, you know. It's nice to see things from his point of view as
Yeah.
that kid, you know. And it's nice to know like how my uncle Pete felt when he would take me everywhere with him kind of thing, and to
Mm.
carry on that tradition and stuff like that. Like it makes me really 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 fucking happy to do it
That's awesome,
kind of.
man.
Yeah, man. So
I'm
like
happy
I
for you.
it's thank you. Thank you. And you know, I talk shit about having to do this podcast all the time, but like I love being able to talk to my best friend all the time because like we are so close that we can drift away so easily
Yeah.
kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Um and I think that's a beautiful thing too, in the sense that like if we don't have to talk for a month and a half, 2 months, and then when I see you, it's like
It's like,
third grade all over again. You know,
yeah.
nothing's really changed, kind of thing. But it's nice to have to see my baby boy all the time and talk to him and you know see your face and shit like that. Like it does. I think you know the older we get, the more that shit's important, man.
It is important. Yeah.
You know, it's important because you know.
That's
Um,
something that I'm definitely grateful for because I see my parents
yeah,
and they don't have that, and that's something that I'm very fortunate. I mean, like to have a friend that I grew up
yeah,
with since I was 9 years old.
yeah.
Like it's rare that people
Yeah,
have relationships that last that long.
that long,
Yeah, and I
you
think
know?
I always wonder if my father had that, what type of man he would be.
Mhm.
My mother had that, what type of woman she would be, and
Yeah,
I think like you said, a village is something that kind of molds who you are, and for sure, I mean, you and your family. I mean, ranches have definitely been a part of that in the molding of who I am.
yeah,
So it's interesting, yeah,
it's
to think about, and I'm super grateful for it.
you know, it's funny because like, as much shit as, like, as close as, you know, it's one of those things, like, no matter how annoying, like, you know, we can get on each other's nerves and stuff like that, you know, wouldn't trade it for the fucking world. Like, I wouldn't want anybody else to fucking get on my nerves the way that you or Rancis get on my nerves, kinda thing, and vice versa.
Yeah,
Um Yeah, I'm just super fucking thankful for you guys and thankful that I'm a part of this journey with you guys. Even when I feel like there's sometimes where like I don't want to fucking do this shit today. Like even today, like
yeah.
like setting this shit up, I was like, I gotta set up this fucking stupid thing and I'm fucking putting the fucking, you know, the microphone together and stuff like that. Where the fuck's the camera? You know? and then you do it, and here I am fucking getting teary-eyed talking to you. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
it's fucking good, man.
it's
I
good.
truly can't complain. I'm so fucking grateful for all of this and everything that comes with it. And yeah, it's just, and I'm not even high. I'm not even stoned. I'm sober as a fucking judge right now, drinking Gatorade, talking my
Oh
feelings.
man. That's good, man. Well, it's a good podcast.
It's a great podcast. And on that note, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us anywhere that you can find podcasts, including YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the VidaProject.com website that has a bunch of other shit on it that you should check out that I don't remember off the top of my head right now. But there's some good stuff there, and I guarantee you'll like it.
Yeah.
That's another episode of Mindset U.
It's probably the
Thank you
most
guys.
efficient podcast we've ever had.
It's, you know why? It's because so and so
Rancis
is not
isn't
here, and
I don't know,
and we just
man.
come into it just fucking swinging.
I think we're gonna have to push him out. We're gonna be
Just
more
let him be the
efficient. 30
producer.
minutes.
Just let him be producer.
Just producer Rancis, you're not allowed to talk.
Yeah, that's it, Rancis. You got kicked out of the podcast. Yeah, you're not on talent anymore. That's it, buddy.
Nah, we're kidding.
All right, guys.
We're not
we're
gonna
kidding.
take him off.
We're kidding. Yeah,
No.
we need somebody to fucking wrangle
Yeah,
us.
we need
We
somebody
can't get
to-
away. We can't get away with just talk about my emotions every podcast.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't
Just
work.
gonna say the same
we
shit
need
over
somebody
and
to
over
make
again.
fun of. So yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget, like I said, to follow us everywhere. And yeah, thank you for listening. And thank you guys for giving me a platform to fucking just talk my feelings off. This is another form of therapy that I never knew I needed. I still don't know if I do need it, but I'm grateful that I have it.